Oh, yeah, you can do it in any shape as long as you got slots for it, but that's...
Yeah.
Anything so the tower case.
And you can put it on your head for Halloween and be Pyramid Head. It'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see that being... Like, the helicopter one I see being a bit more fluid in its airflow, because that's an important thing you gotta consider.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like, I've seen the ones that, like, Alienware's making theirs like a jet engine, so it just, like, has air, like, pumping through it from front to back.
Are you turned down things on mobile?
Right click it.
I'm on mobile.
Oh, I do not know.
I
Maybe,
think you
hold
might
click
be able to just mute it. I messed up cameras. No, it didn't. Great. Okay. Yeah, sorry, this isn't the bot we normally use, but the other one just decided to blow up.
Ah,
Self-deleted.
Explodify.
There you go. It's not even on the offline.
oh, I found it.
It just died. It's not even on the offline list. Weird.
I'm under attack. Hello, child.
We're
Tiny child.
basic in the dark.
You're playing in the dark?
Yeah.
You got your little lantern?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was.
Look, see, did you?
Trying one is weird.
Can we say hi to everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
All right, you ready for bed? All right, you be good for Mama, okay? I love you.
Okie dokie. Well, just running a little late, but we are good to get started. Hello, everyone. Kay is here, but she has no camera. Ark is not here, so Olivia will just be invisible. And
I was just going to say, Kay will be playing Olivia for the night.
Yeah, Kay will be playing Olivia as well as herself. I need to move Shay's camera over just a little bit. No, you don't need to move. I was going to move your camera.
I was leaning in the wrong direction.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Then you're good then. Just as
Yes.
long. Is this where everybody is? Okay.
This is where I am.
Yeah.
Where everybody is. Okay. Hey, Zonis is in the stream. Hi, Zonis.
Hi, Zonis.
I'm in the stream.
You're in the
Hi,
stream.
Kay.
You are in the stream, Kay. I see you as well. Actually,
What? Oh, wait.
I don't see you in the stream.
I'm not logged in.
Lies.
My password was not incorrect, sir.
That's all right.
Hold on,
So
I'm logging in.
yeah, you're good. So we are here to once again tell a vampire story. Oh, Kay. Kay's exploding.
It just said, it's having me get a security code because it's saying I'm logging in from a new device, but I'm not.
Oh, it always does that. That's just Twitch. I don't.
852501.
You're in a slightly different geographical location on your GPS.
Mhm.
I guess. There we go.
You're not in your living room. Why?
You're not in your.
I am in my living room.
She's in her living room, technically. By the way, is that a new apartment?
No, so I'm basically going up. I came up here to help my friend pack, but then also finish grabbing a few of my things here.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I thought you were out of there completely, but I guess.
I
not.
mean, I am, but not.
Mm-hmm.
I still
Gotcha.
have to come back up in July and move like the couch and all that to the storage unit, but
Gotcha. We hopefully will be moving next month. We had a couple days to hear that the closing will be closed, and excited for that. Big fingers crossed.
10 days.
10 days. 10 days or less is the official.
Move closer to me so I can bother you more often.
We will technically be. We're moving into Maryland, so we're still south of DC. We're just kind of going east, really.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so last time, 2 weeks ago, for all of those that are here with us normally live, you all had done quite a bit of investigation of various topics There were some checks to make sure that Lucian had, in fact, not breached the masquerade without ever once implicating themselves in a crime that may or may not have happened on the outskirts of Phoenix. It was kind of deemed that while it is still in the Phoenix proper, it is more or less out of the city jurisdiction that applies to all of you. So Lucian breathed, in air quotes, a sigh of relief at knowing that they more or less got away scot-free. But to cover bases, Olivia and Antonio and others had still dug a little bit into the police networks and put some feelers around to check around and see just what the word was and what was happening and going on. You all also reached out to Maxwell. I almost said Lucian again, like I was doing last week.
Everybody's Lucian now.
Everybody's Lucian now. You're all Malkavians. Taliesin Jaffe shows up and turns everyone into Lucian.
Sweet.
Hive mind!
You know what? I accept it. Bite me, Taliesin. But Maxwell had shown up, and you guys had kind of spent some time with him, talking and figuring some things out, and he had divulged some information to you all once you had done some further digging as well into the former Samichi deep web website, and found that the operation had been moved away from the Indian reservation to the south, and had gone significantly further south from where you are.
So now we have to go on vacation.
Yeah, if the geolocation is to be believed, the location had pulled up in Brazil, and there was some digging of information about what goes on in Brazil, both in and out of character, and we found out some very interesting things that coincided with a mission that Maxwell had for you all. Whether it was crazy random happenstance or connected is yet to be determined. But Maxwell had asked you all to look into the sudden and mysterious final death that was brought on to a Nosferatu, and it's believed that a former hunter that the Nosferatu had tortured and turned into a kindred to suffer a fate worse than death had exacted revenge. Let me just reread these notes. Yeah, so you guys had basically been tasked with trying to find this former witch hunter turned kindred by Maxwell. We all were looking for something to do, and the potential risk of this witch hunter causing a masquerade breach just because they are not beholden to the tenets of the masquerade makes them a liability. Plus, they're going around delivering final death to vampires, which is a big no-no within kindred society as well.
True.
And that's pretty much where we left off. So we can more or less continue within the same night. There's no real reason to progress time because the night is still relatively young. You guys spent, probably the first 2 hours doing all of this. And does anybody have a direction they want to take with this?
Were we informed that this former witch hunter is in Phoenix?
Yes, they are somewhere in Phoenix.
Okay.
That is why it came to you all specifically.
Good job.
Do we know the last location?
You know where the murdered Nosferatu's lair would be. Maxwell would have provided that information for you.
I say we check that out.
Sounds like a plan to me.
investigate the crime scene then.
Oh, that's not how Viper said it, by the way.
That is not how Viper says it, by the way.
That's how Viper wrote it out, though.
It is how they wrote it out.
Mama Cadence is now following. Hi, Mama Cadence.
Thank you, Mama Cadence.
I don't know why I wasn't before.
Yeah,
but
he would have.
That's totally a different name, though.
yeah,
Oh well, it's fine.
Twitch has been stupid, but you know, it is.
Ooh.
I love Twitch. Twitch, you're wonderful.
Twitch
yeah.
is wonderful. Sponsor
Yeah.
us, Twitch.
Sponsor us,
Give us
Twitch.
money.
I have a question.
Answer.
This isn't about like the game or anything.
Okay.
Well, it is, but it isn't. It's about the chat.
Ooh.
As in like Roll20 chat.
Mhm.
Would you guys mind if I typed my notes in there today?
That's fine.
Okay. Just like
Just-
as
just-
we go, I just write things down as that are good.
Yeah,
to know.
just don't lose them. Do you want like a notepad?
Oh, that would be good. I just don't like going in between tabs because then I lose things.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Here, I'll make you a thingy you can write in.
See, this was my first one. We're going to the murder Nosferatu's lair.
Vipers. Oops, I typed vampire instead of viper.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm still not wrong. Alright, so.
So,
make-
Papa.
Hello, helicopter, you're right on time. And
It's the helicopter to take us to the scene of the crime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm just delighted that that Cadence has a stuffed polar bear now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There they are. They show up on camera now. Just don't show Viper.
No.
Lucian just carries it around.
Yep.
Wears it like a cape.
Alrighty, so the plan is to head out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Onward.
Onward and upward. Alright, one
Soon we're
sec.
taking
What are you taking?
the car, the
Somebody's car.
rich person's car.
Antonio, is that the plan?
Yeah, probably. That makes the most sense. I would have probably, like, pulled the truck up to the club, basically. Meet there.
You mean the one with the bulletproof glass? Okay.
Does it have bulletproof glass?
I just assume everything's bulletproof that Antonio
Probably
has.
shouldn't assume. Maybe Antonio didn't spring for the bulletproof glass.
Cheaped out on the bulletproof glass. Yeah.
That sounds like Antonio.
Look, I needed the new iPhone that year, so...
You've got all that Nazi gold and you just couldn't be bothered to...
No, I assume that, like, I have the same kind of car as the president, you know? Like, the bulletproof glass and all that crazy nonsense.
Not the Pope Mobile?
Not the Pope Mobile, no, because they don't need to see me, like, giving my sermons to everyone.
Oh, great. A driver is available for update just when I didn't ask for it.
Ah! You adding the picture made me lose some of my notes.
Oh, no!
Nah.
Sorry, not sorry.
I gotta rewrite that Antonio cheaped out of his bulletproof glass because of his iPhone.
It's canon now.
There's also this
Thingy, murder.
stupid thing that keeps popping up whenever I try and mouse around stuff, and it's annoying. It's like it's one of those stupid things that came in with the updates, and it's really bothersome when I mouse a little right. Anyways, so you all were given the address. I'm gonna turn the music down too. It's pretty loud, at least to me. Break it down just a little bit. So you all were given the address of the murdered Nosferatu. Ironically, they live in an area called Sun City. It's over. Yeah, it's over here to the northwest, just past Glendale and Peoria. Sun City and Sun City West, not to be confused between the two. is the area where like the retirees all live. It's retiree community. A lot of golf courses, a lot of 60 plus housing, and it's an easy place for a Nosferatu with their wrinkly skin and haggard appearance to probably blend in a little easier. Much like our own resident Nosferatu Olivia, everything is bulletproof, everything. Much like Olivia, most of the Nosferatu in Phoenix tend to be canal-based because the lack of a deep sewer infrastructure in the Phoenix area due to the way the bedrock and stuff work there. Fun fact, the sewage system in Phoenix is not terrible, but it's just unique in the sense that they don't have complex sewer systems like you would see on the West Coast or even the deep ones in the East Coast. So you don't get very far underground relying on the sewer systems as a Nosferatu, but the canal system, however, needing to get all of that water into a city will be the way to go. So a lot of them are very amphibious by nature, and Sun City is right along one such water deposit, making it prime real estate for the Nosferatu. And so it's a bit of a drive, probably about an hour to get into Sun City from where you guys are in Scottsdale. In the evening time, there's not much traffic, so it's an easy enough drive. And once you get there, once you get there, you see that much like any of the other canal fixtures, the access to the public is largely fenced off. There are signs warning you not to swim or bathe or drink from the canal, as it could be hazardous to your health because the currents of the canal are fast and dangerous, and despite all of that, people die in them all the time.
Because humans are stupid.
Because humans are stupid and they'll still try and swim in it, regardless.
They don't die in the canals, they get eaten by vampires.
And if they don't die in the canals, they get eaten by the crocodiles. And so the canals that run through the area, they're largely concrete based, so they have like sloped inclines that make climbing out of them especially hard if you fall in. But it's perfect and deep for Nosferatu to hide in and move about through the water without being seen. But these canals also have the occasional fixtures for where the water can be moved from the canal itself and into more residential areas. And these public waterworks are usually where the Nosferatu will build their access and abilities to make their lairs. Olivia, who of course has been here the entire time, is filling you all in on a couple of the secrets, not divulging too much because any good Nosferatu would not willingly give away all of their secrets to anybody.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Exactly, and never do it in such a way that it would put you out of business. And so I'm just checking something here. Oh, they do have it. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the vampire book because I need to double check this playbook to see just how deep theirs goes.
The difference between a Nosferatu and a crocodile.
Not much. The Nosferatu choose their food. Out of character, Olivia has access to the labyrinth, which is what I was hoping they would have. So I'm just trying to see how deep their playbook goes here. And I wish this
I have a question about the canal.
Okay.
Can you fish?
No. These are man-made, and so there's no.
Mm-hmm.
This is like drinking and plumbing water. There's no no wildlife in it.
Let's fish for Nosferatu then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could fish for the Nosferatu if you wanted. You may not like what you bring up.
I'll start a club.
It's an angler.
Alright, for fuck's sake.
We got a big one.
Oh, you know what? Making an anglerfish Nosferatu would be pretty cool. Alright, where are the playbooks in here? God, I wish they would just make this easier. Lore Sheets 382. Okay. Vampire 6th Edition. Have a better layout. Please.
Please.
And they're
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. I'll do the layout. Descendant of Zelios. So there's this called the Descendant of Zelios. So I need to find that. Because that is where their labyrinth information is. Bird Start, Descendant of Helena, Sect War Veteran, Trinity. I do like that the Jeanette and Therese Foreman are playbooks in this, though. You can just have the two crazy girls from Bloodlines. Descendant of Tyler, Zelios. There we go. Go ahead.
Does that mean that David Bowie is a Nosferatu?
Why?
A labyrinth?
Oh,
He
ha ha
probably
ha ha. Could be. He seems more like a Toreador.
See, yeah, I was thinking the
But
exact
the
same thing.
I got you. Yes, his Goblin King days. Oh, Art, you have so many dots in that. Okay. Cool.
Illigracy is streaming The Sims 4!
Take the
Sorry.
202 West. Yeah, basically. Davy Jones. I mean, they would be riding the 60 to get up to there. But they could take the long way and do the 202.
We want the scenic route.
Yeah. Well, actually, they wouldn't take the. Well, if you took the 202, you could jump onto. Oh, that seems such an inconvenient way to do it. You could take the 202 to the 10, and then ride up the 101. But that just seems really roundabout, and you could just ride the 60 the whole way. Anyways, I was looking at this playbook. They have 4 dots? 4 dots. And the way the lore sheets work is you only get the dots that you buy. You don't get everything else before it. So, you use Celios to work, construct labyrinth beneath your domain. Made a part of sewers, sewers, drains, basements, You added your own chambers, dead ends. Dang, this would be great if Art was actually here. We could go through the complexities of you guys navigating the labyrinth. But they are not here. So I'm just going to make some rolls and hope that you all don't die.
I want to find the Minotaur.
Yeah. Tie some string to Viper and just hope that you all don't die.
I have a great idea. We're just going to leave breadcrumbs and nothing will go wrong.
So what ends up happening, Olivia manifests in front of you all and explains that what's coming next is something that can't be replicated by any of you. And they kind of look at Antonio and they say, no, really, if you try, you're going to die. Don't be stupid. And they're like, if you just follow me, stay close, and no matter what you hear, don't wander off. You'll be safe. And they walk over to one of the utility doors that connects to this water station, and instead of walking to the door, they're like 3 feet to the right, and they put their hand up to one of the brickwork, and they press it in, and then shift it to the side so that it sinks into the wall, and then the brickwork kind of peels away itself and opens up a secondary door that has a little staircase that leads down. And they say, follow me.
Dang, you guys have all the neat toys.
They nod.
I'm scribbling in my notebook.
Walls open.
Yep. And so,
Antonio is totally plotting to get somebody else to do this just to see what happens.
mhm.
Like, hey, you like $5 to come down here and do it.
Yeah. And Olivia explains that you all need to stay close, and as much as, holding hands grosses them out, they say you all need to keep hands and don't lose track of the person in front of you. You descend down, and once the last person is inside, the brickwork seals itself back up behind you, and you're in complete darkness.
I am not.
Yeah. And so they...
Rise of the Beast.
And those of you who can see in the dark are able to see, and what you're able to see is just a long corridor. And as they start to walk with you, they have... Who would be behind Olivia?
Me.
Viper. So they have your hand, Viper, and Viper, who are you holding?
I'm gonna stay in the middle of everybody.
I was gonna say Calypso, maybe.
Okay, I will take this hand.
Viper. Who would be next?
I don't know. I guess I'll go next, and then Lucian's last.
I don't want you behind me.
I figured you would say that.
Not today, anyways. Okay. And
Wait, so
so
was it Lucian and then Antonio, or Antonio?
Antonio, then
Antonio,
Lucian.
then, yeah.
yeah. Okay. And so you all see, those of you who can see a nondescript, rough-hewn, natural hallway. And as you continue down this corridor, the sound of your footsteps echo a lot louder than what would be normal, and the silence beyond it is almost deafening. And as you're walking, the pathway opens up into a three-way intersection, and Olivia looks and regards for a moment, and then seems to arbitrarily pick a direction and walks down that direction. It would be the one to the right, and you would continue on, and before long, you would come to another three-way intersection that looks just like the first one. They would think for a moment. They would pick a direction to the left, and they would walk. And then you would continue on, and then you would see a four-way intersection. They would pick the second from the right. Then they would continue on. And then you would see another intersection. This one's 6 ways. It would be the third from the left. And then they'd continue on. And then it becomes an 8-way intersection. And they pick the one in the middle. And then it becomes a 2-way intersection. And they go right. And then it becomes a 1-way intersection. And they turn around. And they start to walk you all back. Yes.
Rin, at an 8-way intersection, there's no middle, Rin.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Nosferatu really have some good obscure labyrinth stuff.
Don't worry about it.
They still take the middle one.
They still took the middle one. It just
And
It's the other
and the
middle.
four.
Yeah.
it's your other middle, Reese. Don't worry about
Oh,
The
what was I
four-way-
thinking?
The four-way
it. So it would be
intersection
like this, like this, like this, and like this. So they take the middle one. They just keep going forward. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just meant to throw Kay off. Because I know they're trying to write it down. But they do a quick 180 without saying anything, and then you all turn around and you start walking again. And this time they pick a completely different direction, and they hang a left at this 3-way intersection, and then they continue forward at a 4-way intersection, and then they go right, and then they go left. Then they continue forward past 2 more intersections. And it seems a little weird because these spots don't look any different beyond random openings. Everybody can make a wits awareness for me, though.
Sounds like something I'm super good at.
If you can see, that is. If you can't see, you just...
I can't see, so
Yeah.
that's
If
fine.
you can't see,
What do
don't
I
worry about it.
hear?
Probably.
Your footsteps. I already established that.
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh, go
Viper.
Go Viper.
Nice.
I'm also writing all of this down, So,
That's
Yeah,
fine.
like,
see.
as in Casey.
That's fine.
I don't know if this is gonna do anything in the end, but
It might.
when you started
Joke's
going
on
really
you.
fast,
We have
I
the
was like,
VOD anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Joke's on you. If you don't know how to navigate the labyrinth, writing it down is meaningless. Okay. Not a critical, though.
No.
So what's important here, while you all are watching Olivia kind of pause and consider each of these intersections, the rough-hewn walls are not as bare as they look when you get to these intersections. Some of them have spray paint on them, making various symbols. Some are just simple arrows pointing in a direction. Some are skull and crossbones. Others are just simple runic shapes or symbology of various things like a bird or a fish. And as Viper is watching, because Viper has the most successes, as Viper is watching, the ones Olivia are picking are not matching up each time, but it seems like there is a pattern to it. What the pattern is beyond you. You're not a Nosferatu. You wouldn't be able to catch the subtle nuances of what each of these mean. But Olivia doesn't look concerned or lost. They know what they're looking for, and as long as you're trusting them, you should be fine. And you're down here wandering in the darkness, the sound of your footsteps, or any hushed conversation you may feel to have while walking. Eventually, the intersections change back into a simple corridor, and there's a staircase, a iron grated staircase that leads up to a single door. And Olivia says, "We should be here."
So this is where the Goblin King lives.
Tour.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure this is where the Goblin King lives. Is that what they called him?
I give her a pat on the head.
And they give you a toothy grin and they say, "Yeah. So you guys go on ahead. I'll watch the door, make sure we weren't followed." And they kind of laugh and then they go invisible.
Okay.
I enter the door.
You enter the door.
I will enter the door.
Viper
I'll try
melds.
to.
Viper melds into the door. Viper, you go and you try this door, and it's locked. Because of course it is. What kindred would leave their door unlocked, even in the safety of the labyrinth?
I turn and go, Olivia,
Yeah.
it's locked.
Ah, shit, that sucks. You didn't bring a key?
I don't have a key. It is
Do we
not my
just
place.
use any key? I got a whole handful here.
Why don't you give them a try?
Okay, give me one. I hold my hand out.
Antonio knocks on the door.
How do you knock on the door, Antonio? Hi, Diesel Shot. Thanks for the host.
It's like
Hey, Diesel
knock,
Shot.
knock, knock.
Just a 3 knock?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me... I'm gonna have you roll for it. Because rolls are always...
He probably says, "Hello."
Give me a...
While I am trying various keys that Ocean has.
Yeah. So, Viper, you can give me a wits investigation, and Antonio, I see you have no larceny, so that's no good. I always feel like manipulation should be something that's not social, and then I have to remind myself that that's just your ability to lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want you to actually manipulate an object, not a person.
I feel that would fall under dexterity then.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm reminding myself. It's like, it's not that manipulation. It's a it's a social manipulation.
Yes.
Fuzzy
My gaslighting ability.
crocodile.
Yeah, sure.
Crocodile.
Manipulate the gases. Yeah, give me a dexterity. The two that I would say would apply, you don't have any points in, so dex larceny.
Alrighty.
Viper got a 2. Yeah, 3. Okay. So Viper kind of goes through a couple of these keys that Antonio has. Do any of these keys have any significance, Antonio? Or
It was Lucian.
Lucian?
Really?
Not really. They're
Found them.
just bummed a bunch of keys. So yeah, you're putting in a series of nondescript, worthless to anybody but Lucian, because a Malkavian has value in everything.
See a key and pick
because
it up,
Olivia
and
told me
all
to.
the day you'll have good luck.
There you go. So one of these keys fits into the tumblers, and you hear the tumblers rolling, and then you turn it, and you hear something slide back. And when you try the door, it doesn't open. But then Antonio comes up, and he knocks 3 times, and then you hear another slide move back. And when you try it for the second time, after Antonio had knocked, it seems the combination of the two was enough to unlock this door.
I look at Viper grinning and I'm like, go team!
And then I go, thanks, Olivia.
Yeah, give me my key back. I gotta mark that. So I
Hey, wait a second.
Secret Nosferatu
Secret
key.
Nosferatu key.
Yep.
I give the key back.
This is why my mini mind said to keep it.
Make sure you write down that one goes to there.
It is a Nos key from now on.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Nos key.
A Nos key.
Nos vagina. I don't know where that was going. Anyways, so when you open up this door, you find that you have entered into a Nosferatu lair, and whatever you may have expected, it's not that. This is actually a really nice and well put together penthouse that would be seen anywhere, really, but a secret canal passage deep on the outskirts of Phoenix, directly under the retirement center of Sun City. The space itself looks like it is built into the ground, but the walls have nice, elegant wood paneling. There is really nice wood flooring, and there are even windows here. And while the windows themselves exist, it looks like there was great pains made to cover them up, but they had allowed light from outside, and you can see that the windows themselves used to have plaster, and not plaster, but paper mache and newspapers to cover them up and block the light from coming in, but still give it that rich and elegant feel of having a window and curtains and things that give it a very homey looking appearance. But the covering of these heavy papers and plaster to keep the light from getting in looked like it had been peeled away, and you see that these strips of paper are lying in tatters all over the area where there are windows. And what else sticks out is there's like a desk and a chair and bookshelves lined with books. And then there is the Nosferatu's coffin where they would, seek their solitude and safety during the daylight hours. It is open, and the ashes of this Nosferatu are still there.
If I look out the sealed away window, what's the view?
The view would give a very weird look of what you would assume would be the surface, because you could still assume that you're underground. You only went up a single flight of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives this starry night view.
Is the window... Are all the windows peeled?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the old people up top must have discovered this, came down, ripped out the walls, the windows.
So I was talking. I totally forgot that I was muted.
Jealous. They're jealous.
Definitely jealous.
Definitely jealous.
Can I tell if the coverings were ripped down from the inside or pushed down from the outside?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
All right.
With your wits investigation.
My wits.
I'll just keep Olivia's sheet open so I don't have to tamper with anybody else's to see these combinations.
I'm so good at that.
Would you like to spend any willpower?
Nope.
No? You're good? Okay.
I will ask the group, though, can anyone tell if this has been brought down from the outside or from the inside?
I can check.
Mm-hmm.
We say it was investigation.
What's investigation? Because you're just checking the windows for any tampering or type of tampering in this regard.
Research?
No, you are not.
Okay.
You're not cracking open a book to figure out what happened to the window. Whoa! Look at you.
Crit.
It's a
There
crit.
you go.
There you go.
It's a crit.
So that would get you 6 successes. Anybody else rolling, or are we just letting Viper handle this?
Viper's got it.
Viper can handle the heavy lifting on this one.
Viper would say, just in general, just like the fact that there's a window into here and the covering's off with a coffin in view is definitely a breach in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, doesn't necessarily mean kindred. Is there a pile of ashes in the middle of the room?
No, there's a pile of ashes in the coffin.
The coffin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Viper, when you go to check the window itself, the window looks like the coverings had been torn away, which is obvious, but you lean in and get a closer look. And as you're looking, you see that these aren't tearing away in large, sweeping strokes or cutting from like a tool. It looks like tiny claws had torn away at the paper itself, where teeth had dragged it apart. And you kind of get down and you look at the tatters on the ground, and you see animal droppings, tiny little clumps and pellets, and you hear the faintest of squeaks moving around within the haven itself.
I would like to find the rat and put like a really bright light on it and be like, "Where were you on the night of December 21st?"
It's
I just-
April.
Can I roll something with my zoology? I don't know what it is, but I have something where I can actually do things with animals.
Sure.
I got a mammal thing.
You want to figure out what this might have been?
Yeah, what type of animal it might have been. Also, I guess I also want to figure out.
I'm gonna pull up an obscure Brazilian rodent now just to dig this deeper.
I also wanted to
Well, let me finish with her because she's getting her results.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
What
Okay,
is
you
this
were.
investigation again?
Do you have something else that might work for that, like your study?
I have my specialties.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, go ahead and wits investigation then.
I mean, but I could use academics.
You could. Actually, that probably works better. Give me intelligence academic, or that doesn't work. Give me. Oh, yes, it does. Intelligence academics, and then put your zoology in there.
Could I? Okay. Could I argue
Mm-hmm.
my reptiles being there as well, seeing that reptiles usually eat rodents?
No, but you could still use the zoology.
Okay. Haha, again!
Boy,
Another
like
crit.
just think once this investigation is over, we'll
You
never
gotta
see
punch
these great.
something.
We'll never see these great rolls again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were able to figure out that these are Brazilian capybara claw. No, I'm just kidding. These are rats. It's very much just a small rodent. Looks like it had clawed away and bitten down the sunproofing that had been put on these windows in a very deliberate shredding and tearing apart of it. And it looks like the rats that inhabited, or the rats that had been responsible for this, may still be here.
Olivia.
Olivia's outside.
Okay.
But you did have a thing you wanted to do.
Yeah. Does anybody know what powers Nosferatu, or do I know what powers? What do I roll to know what powers Nosferatu use? Etiquette?
You could roll.
I'm really like lore.
You could roll an intelligence etiquette because that is kind of just knowing the kindred society. You very well may not know what powers they know, but you could get an idea of what type of abilities they have because we don't have like an arbitrary you cast scan and decipher what they're doing type of thing.
I have
but
no idea.
Okay. Did you want to spend any willpower?
I only got one dice.
Okay.
I can and try to inform.
But that can lead me into. Does anybody know what power or abilities Nosferatu use?
Boy, if Ark was
kind
here,
of.
this would be so much easier.
I know. I kind of know.
I mean, you kind of do.
I would like to search Olivia for their sheet, and then we'll all know.
We have so Viper would say they basically, the one that I guess I know of that would be related to this would be their like ability to communicate with animals, mostly just because that's something I can do too.
That would be correct. You have seen Olivia. Oh, speaking of, Kate's cast her animalism, summoned cat. But yes, controlling animals is something you all have seen and know Nosferatu can do because Olivia does it. She has a giant surly bird.
Here, ratty.
It's not a crow. It's another thing, and I totally don't
Magpie, raven. Is it in the corvid family?
No. It is a. Did he write it down?
Seagull.
It's a seagull.
French fries.
It's a seagull. It's a seagull
Rats
now.
of the sky.
From that great sea in Phoenix.
He didn't. Yeah, the great Phoenix Sea. He didn't write it down. That's not helpful.
Well, if they can control animals and our witch hunter is has been turned nos, but also one without any limbs. Do you think they're getting carried around by like a swarm of rats?
Huh,
I assume that's certainly possible.
kind of interesting.
I just imagine that they wouldn't be able to tear those sheets down on their own.
Well, I mean, I feel like it would be pretty easy to find a limbless person being carried around on rats. So
You
we
would
can
think.
just go
Not if they're
for
invisible.
that. And not if they're in this labyrinth.
But why would a Nosferatu want to take out another Nosferatu with their little Nosferats?
A witch hunter trying to get revenge for being turned into a kid.
Do we know anyone else that can control rats? Or is it just an Nosferatu?
I mean,
Okay.
it's less control and more like communicate with. And Gangrel can, but they can also turn into them.
So-
Nosferatu can.
So what you're saying
can
is,
they?
what
Can
you're
they?
saying is Viper killed them.
Oh! Dun dun dun!
I am the witch hunter.
Because I do know for me, several of my power abilities, others also use as well.
Yeah. That's,
Like my mind control ability, the Ventru also use.
yep. That's the
They are
way
known to have that.
So I'm just kind
I
of.
can.
I'm just kind of making or putting theories down on the table. Like, what if there's just like a swarm of rats carrying around an invisible, limbless body of an angry Nos that didn't want to be turned, and is out for revenge now.
Possibly.
It's very possible.
Let's see. Can I? Can I get my snake to try and find these rats?
Absolutely. I would assume that you brought it along, tucked away
Oh,
somewhere.
of course. It's in my hoodie.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, how do you communicate to your? Was it a Viper? No, we talked about this.
Yeah,
It was
no, it
a.
is.
Oh, is it?
The-
I thought we
Or
picked.
it's a
Did we pick the
I thought it
Diamondback?
possibly. I can't remember.
Because you
No,
were
wait,
looking.
I
You were
think-
looking for one specifically for Arizona. We talked about this. What did we settle on?
I thought I took a pic. I thought I sent a picture, but I thought it was one that wasn't. Or no, the one that. Wait.
It was 2020 when you sent that. I can't think back
Well, no, I
into
can't
that
remember
year.
because I thought that. I know one of them, either the one that Viper turns into, or the one that the snake is, like that, like my Familius is one that's not from Arizona. I can't remember. I think
Right.
it's probably.
Go for
Oh, wait.
snake.
Can't remember which is which.
Wait, I think I found it. Hold on. I think I did a black Viper. Oh! No, it is the. It's the black Viper is the one is not the one I turned into. It's my guy, my little dude, because he's from the zoo, not from Arizona. So the one Viper turns into is from Arizona, because Viper's from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I just found the black Viper link.
That's
so.
right.
Okay. Reese needed to get up to take a break. Do we all want to break here, since this would normally be about our time?
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. We'll take 5 minutes, and then everybody come back, and we will finish up the rest of the session afterwards. stick around for more vampire while Viper unleashes a Viper on some rats. Hello.
Hello.
Are they alive?
Hola.
Hola.
Hello?
Is everybody back? Yes. Everybody is back.
I am.
Get your
We
last
all
chips
is
in.
our back.
Get your last chip bites in. And away screen gone. Alrighty, so we had stepped away with the intention of sicking a snake on a bunch of rats. So Kay, tell me how this happens and what the intention of your snake is. I did hear Kay back, right?
I heard a K.
Yeah, I was talking.
Oh,
I
okay.
was muted.
There we go.
While we were away, my favorite Sims YouTuber is streaming right now, so I went and watched her for a little bit, so I muted myself so no one would hear. But then I didn't unmute I unmuted myself to say I was here, but then I still had to click away from the stream, and you could still hear it. So I was like, you know,
Gotcha.
but yeah.
It's all
Anyway,
good.
I was saying that it can follow simple verbal instructions.
Mhm.
So, so it says it attacks in defense of itself. Oh wait, I can just play it.
Yeah.
You send it in to.
But it cannot be persuaded to fight something. It would not normally attack. So I would probably just say like hold up one of the yes, I would pick it up with my hands because I'm used to it. Hold up one of the fucking droplings to the snake and just be like, fetch.
Okay, so your instructions to the snake is to go capture a mouse?
You can have it capture a
one of
second
the rats.
one. Have it capture a second one, so when you interrogate one of these rats, you just have your snake eat it in front of his friend.
Uh-huh.
Do you need to roll anything for this?
Charisma animalkin.
Go ahead and roll that for me, and we'll see how receptive they are.
Could I use my reptile modifier?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Nope. Opening all the wrong character sheets. 4 successes. Okay. So the conversation between Viper and their Viper is obviously much more eloquent than our out-of-character discussion. Viper is able to convey the intent of catching one of these rats and bringing it back, and the snake is like, it's feeding time, and Viper is like, no, you can eat it afterwards. And they're like, okay, I won't eat. That's basically what the 4 successes amounts to, is it doesn't get your intention as go hunt, but to bring the mouse back. And so it does so. And we see the snake slither into this penthouse proper to begin its hunt. It slithers across the wood flooring, and you all see one of these brownish black sewer rats scurry across the floor once it catches sight of the snake as well. And there is a short chase before vipers are poisonous ones, right? Or is it a constrictor?
No, vipers are poisonous.
Okay. What kind of poison do they have?
It's very rare. So the venom is super toxic, but it injects a little bit of it, so the bite is rarely deadly. I think that they might be talking about humans, but it just says that that its main food is small animals.
Yeah,
it doesn't really say how they kill it.
I just want to... Mostly I'm just... Is it going to kill it, or is it going to paralyze it?
How to black vipers kill their prey? No, not snakes. I need vipers. Okay. So it seems like it paralyzes it.
Okay,
Just because it
perfect.
says they strike it and inject venom, then they immediately release the prey so it can't bite back.
Cool. That's what I wanted to know, whether it would kill it or not. So if it
Okay,
doesn't,
wait.
Mhm.
So they can still be alive afterwards. So it says the bitten prey wanders off, dies, and the viper uses its sense of smell to find it.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So it kind of like it slowly kills the animal.
Slowly kills it. Okay. Then that being said, um, your viper chases down this rat, and it does snap out and strike this rat, very much with the intent of giving it a very slow and painful death. But once it has stunned it with the strike, it like collects it in its mouth and then slithers back to you, very much deliberately not swallowing it like it would normally do, but it brings it back to you and deposits this twitching rat.
Mm-hmm. That's about as far as I planned.
Okay. Well, now you all have this.
Can I check its nails and its mouth to see if there are paper mache shreds?
Absolutely. I won't need a roll for that because you know what you're looking for. And so you very carefully pick this rodent up, and as you turn it over and examine it, you do see that it has evidence of exactly what you were looking for. This rat had a direct paw in the final death of the Nosferatu you were looking in on.
Then I just turn around and I hold it up to the others.
And so Viper holds up this rat to you all.
Can you understand it if it squeaks to you?
Piper shakes his head. Nope. Or no, he wouldn't say. He would just shake his head.
Viper shakes their head.
Well, if Lydia was here, we could ask her if she could. Maybe, I don't know.
Do we know if the rats came from the inside or the outside yet? That is fairly important.
I mean, the most thing I can probably think of is if it came from the outside, obviously it came from this guy, or that the dead dude, the pile of ash over there, had his own rats, and somehow this guy was managed to control them, and now they're just normal.
That's exactly why I wanted to know if they came from inside or outside. Because if they came from inside, then it could be someone in here.
Can you check its fur maybe and tell if maybe there's, I don't know, dirt or grass other than, instead of like dust and sewer water?
Viper, give us a microscopic analysis stat.
I mean, I can go back to my lab and do that, but not here.
Does it smell like old people?
I smell the rat.
Smell the rat. Do you smell old people very often, Viper?
I don't think so.
All the time.
I know what a rat smells like, though, and if it doesn't smell like that, I will say it's an old person smell.
It doesn't smell like old people, no.
And then he'd shake his head and just say, it smells like a rat.
Well, there goes my theory.
Oh, you're old people sending the rats in. Yeah, that
Jealous
was a stupid thing.
retirees, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very smart.
These retired
It
hunters
was a
train
few,
rats to murder.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Well,
if these rats are from elsewhere, then wouldn't that mean that our wouldn't that mean that the hunter is still in the building?
I mean, I
From
probably
inside the house.
have a theory that this hunter is in the labyrinth. Most likely.
How though? They're not part of the. They're not part of the Cambria.
That's why I think that they're in it. If they found a way to get in, and they're not a part of it, that means that they don't know how to get out, and they're stuck.
I also wonder how the power to control these things actually works. Would the person have to be able to see them and or know they were there? I would assume so.
God, I wish Ark was here tonight.
But they can.
Well, I guess we could always come back. Come back when Olivia's available.
So is it smart that since we have this Nosferatu killer, that our Nosferatu is outside the door alone?
Well, I think maybe we should ask. I mean, unless you guys have more research, I only look at things in terms of animals, and especially since this is a rat, it's very particularly interesting. I don't know what else to look for. I can go back and do a research sample. I can look at this rat more closely and see if it does have any residue on it from anywhere else, or if it's from here.
Maybe
So
I
that's my
can.
job.
Maybe I can try something. I don't expect it to work, but worth a shot, I guess.
Yep, trying is, I forget what the phrase is. You
Okay.
don't know until you try. I think that's what it is.
Well, let's see if I can do this then.
Antonio's going on break.
So
Break.
Callista ate before she left. So she has the blood of Kyne in her, and kindred. So I think that's all. Oh wait, I need to check. Whoops. I think I might need a specific resonance, and I don't know if I have it. I think I have the right one. Alright. What type of resonance is Auspex usually?
Aspects. Let's find the resonance page.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for now.
I don't know for sure. I believe it's the nervous one, but I don't know right offhand.
Here.
While we're looking for this, can I ask Antonio a question?
Sure. I didn't do it.
I would turn to Antonio and be like,
Which one were you looking for?
Auspex.
Okay.
I'd be like, well, do you have any input? You are a hunter turned kindred as well.
I'm just really proud
We
of
don't
his
use
methods.
rats. Remember, hunters are just humans. We don't have, or I did not have any actual powers.
Page.
Found it.
We
I was
are
gonna say page
soldiers.
49, the start of
We don't
Aspects
have any
says
way
what
to
resonance
manipulate
is.
these things without some kind of technology.
So,
I mean, I suppose we could open it
Sorry,
up and
guys.
see if it has some kind.
Just to interrupt real quickly, anytime the resonance stuff comes up for curiosity, each of the powers, the section that has them, the start of the power itself tells you under the characteristics. It'll give you the type of power it is, the masquerade breach threat level of it, and the resonance for the blood. So for Shay's curiosity, it was phlegmatic.
Yeah.
But please continue. I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was just to...
Which one is phlegmatic? I just want to know if I'm right now.
Phlegmatic is well balanced. It says well balanced.
So it's just normal, I guess.
Well balanced diet.
Yeah,
That's-
Yeah,
well,
that seems like a
outside.
really just not descriptive answer for them to write
Okay.
it. No,
Phlegmatic-
not you, them.
Yeah. Here, I found more description. Phlegmatic dyscrasias. They can be chill, comfortably numb, eating your emotions. I don't know what that means. They could have given up.
Oh wait, hold on. We have notes because Viper took this stuff down before. Does Viper still have that information on the resonances?
I do at my house, but
Yeah.
not the Viper does. The player.
Oh,
does
you
not.
know what?
Kay said that she wasn't.
Disregard that
she
because
forgot them.
the notes that I have on it too didn't have anything there. The information on the students had some of it, what particular resonances, but it didn't go into super detail.
Yeah.
Continue.
And I guess for the storyteller, because we didn't go into any detail or anything when I fed. I just knew I had to purposely feed to get some mortal blood in me. Since. What do you think? What kind of mood would they have been in?
I found it here. It's on page 226 for everyone. So the humor is phlegmatic. The element associated with it is water. The Jungian function is intuition. The hormone is pituitary. The emotions and conditions connected to it are lazy, apathetic, calm, controlling, and sentimental.
So it's the
So we
lazy
did
one.
have someone with that. For
Mhm.
so I would have had it written down.
Yeah, it would have been written down. The notes that I have just didn't have
Yeah.
major details on it. The phlegmatic student was the psychology major,
Mm-hmm.
because it's stuff associated with the mind and intuition. So the person that you fed on, probably was lazy or apathetic. I think fits that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're eating me. I don't care.
That's useful then. Then I'm going to, since it pairs with all specs, I'm going to use my body to do some alchemy and replicate Sense the Unseen. Which needs to be resolve and discipline. So it is a first tier ability though.
Also, kind of just something I realized for the snake. They can do dry bites where they don't inject venom.
Cool. You also have a lot of background noise going.
Me?
Yeah.
I hear it coming from another thing.
Oh, is that Reese? That is Reese.
Oh, it could be. Okay, I'm sorry. It must be my fan.
You're alright. Probably, if you want to have it on, just probably push to talk. I don't know.
Okay.
Alright, so, like, Callista just, like, goes still for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then opens her eyes again, and is going to try and, as her heart starts to beat just a little bit faster, activate her alchemy to sense the unseen.
Okay. Between Antonio and Viper, I apologize because we were answering questions. Did we interrupt your conversation, or were you finished?
Yes, and how dare you? But I was typing to Kay.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can continue because you guys were in the middle of a conversation.
So basically, all Antonio would, excuse me. Basically, all Antonio would say is that it's not likely to be hunters because we have no way to actually control the animals. So they don't use animals for the most part. Maybe
But I
like
was
dogs
saying-
to smell and hunt, but they wouldn't have any way to control a massive amount of rats to do something like this.
But I was saying that this is also a person that hunted vampires turned in not vampires, kindred. That's not he said kindred. Kindred turned kindred. So I was just seeing if you had any input from similar mindsets. I don't know.
I mean, for sure, we have a lot of enemies. Case in point, like, looks around the room. We are not exactly popular among the group.
Well, you're not helpful. And then he just continues on.
Lucian, are you doing anything for the investigation?
Maybe just looking around the room, seeing if there's anything good. He's dead. He doesn't need his stuff anymore, so
That's true. Did you want to start looting?
sure.
Okay. Where in particular are you looking?
I have no idea.
Okay. I can just make
Yeah.
up something you find. That's fine too.
Bookshelves or whatever,
Some
you know.
keys.
Where's the dragon's
Keys,
hoard?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is there a generator that can
gold
have
pieces
some
do
random
I
stuff for
find?
vampire? Just want a room generator. What's in the vampire lair?
You'd find 3 fortune cookies and a brick.
Ooh, let's see. What's my fortune?
And make me a fortune roll.
Visit a park. Enjoy what nature has to offer. Okay. Fortune cookie number 2. Yes, I just got some fortune cookies. So. Now is a good time for you to explore. Take a vacation. Well, I guess I'm going to the park and taking vacation. All right.
You know where we do need to take a vacation to? Brazil.
Brazil.
Your talents will be recognized and suitably rewarded.
I would say that looking around this place, though, the Nosferatu here, his books are a very rare and expensive collection of like first editions of different types of reading. A lot of them are classical literature or philosophy. The individual looks like they were well read before they were killed. They also do have a computer, but this is a very old, and this is like 90s old, somehow still running. Looks like it's like an old Apple. It is the kind that is built into the monitor. That's how old it is.
Ooh, Oregon Trail.
Yeah, it's got Oregon Trail on it. It's got the rolly-ball mouse and a keyboard. There are knickknacks and small baubles here and there, and let me see if I can make something here because I do want to kind of tie it in. Statues. I want a statue. I want a desk statue. I want to find something for a visual reference. Huh. That's not even a desk statue at all. Ask for a desk statue and it's an art installation that it's not a statue. It's not a statue at all.
No, it isn't.
You find one polar bear rug.
Yeah, you find the twin polar bear rug. No, it's much worse, guys. This is what apparently comes up when you type in art desk statue.
Make sure you post it in the right room.
Did I post it in the right room? I posted it in the right room. If I just post it randomly, nobody's gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about.
What the heck is that?
Exactly.
Dot.
Like, what even? It's apparently just it's a.
I mean, I have my ideas on what it is.
It is what you think it is, but apparently it's a
Portal to
statue.
death. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a second.
it's a massive sculpture that was built into this hillside. The artist's name is Giuliana Notari, and it just, oh boy, it put me on a real downward spiral of what I was actually looking for.
Brings down on a watch list.
Yeah, well, no, probably not. Probably not that bad. I just wanted something simple that would make it seem obvious. Why would he be? This is why I don't like Google sometimes, because it doesn't make sense where some of these results come in. I just wanted Brazilian art. Am I missing something on why Sigmund Freud is related to Brazil?
Probably he's somehow related to everything.
No, like real talk. Did Sigmund Freud move to Brazil or something that I don't know about?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Because like I typed in Brazilian statues and it's just here's a ton of Sigmund Freud.
Maybe there's a statue of Sigmund Freud in Brazil.
I think
I like the one I just posted.
Oh, he became a member of the Brazilian League of Mental Hygiene in 1923.
Mental hygiene?
Mental hygiene.
So brain floss is a real thing,
Yeah,
people.
you got a brain floss.
Apparently, a famous patient that he worked on was Prince Pedro Augusto of Brazil.
So the Prince of Brazil. So he helped the Prince of Brazil, and that's what makes him.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, and that would make what was going on. What else was going on in this Nosferatu's room work?
Mhm.
So what you end up seeing is there is like a head bust of Sigmund Freud. Because I was like, why does he keep popping up for this very specific thing? Yeah, there you go. So it's a bronze, probably only like a foot or so tall, but it's just a shoulder high bust of him, shaped out of bronze, and yeah, it looks very specific. And now that I kind of gave away its importance, but you do see that to kind of help reinforce what I was going for here, Lucy, and you see that a few of these books are also in Portuguese, just to kind of drive that point home.
He had a connection to Brazil. It all goes back to Brazil. That's it. We have to go. Sorry.
Well, then, this hunter obviously knew that where this person was.
I feel like before we go all the way to Brazil, we should probably get Olivia to make sure it's not just a fake IP address or something.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
really
true.
don't want to go to Brazil.
If we're gonna, but Marius is probably still here in the city. Also, what does my Sense the Unseen find, if anything?
Nothing. Nothing is
There's
hidden.
nothing unseen for you to sense.
There
I
are
guess that's
there are
a
10
good thing.
Nosferatu hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, hello.
But no,
Like,
there's
stop!
That's what I kept bumping into.
yeah, there's nothing. You don't see like a pack of rats holding a torso, an invisible torso or anything. There's
Nibbling.
yeah. You guys are looking at a post-crime scene. It means that somebody else has been here already to know that this Nosferatu was killed, which is why Maxwell told you. So it wouldn't make sense for after the fact for the killer to still be here hiding. There's nobody here hiding watching you.
He could revisit the crime scene because he wants to just glorify and just bask in his glory of what he did.
That is true. Olivia
His
did
fingers through the
know how to
ashes.
get here. Maybe Olivia was the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm just gonna implicate Art because they're not here.
Uh-huh.
What if? Do you think it's possible to find a trail outside while it's still night? If there is one. Just a bunch of tiny little rat footprints.
Mm-hmm. Tons of them.
Mm,
There are so many rat footprints that this one rat alone did not make at all.
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh. I feel like we still need to explore the labyrinth, but we would need a fully sentient Olivia for that.
There's no way we can explore the labyrinth on our own.
Yes, that's why I said we would need a fully sentient Olivia.
And even then, I don't know. I feel like
She thinks it's a good idea.
well, maybe. I imagine,
What if we just set up a trap, go outside, shout, I
It's a
found
tarp."
this kindred!
I mean,
See if he comes hunting.
exploring the labyrinth is definitely not a bad idea. I don't know if he knew where this guy was, and this guy is, and Marius is not Camarilla, then why risk the labyrinth where a bunch of enemy Nosferatu are?
I mean, do we know there are enemy Nosferatu down here?
Haven't seen any.
If they were our enemies, I mean, we would probably have found out. I believe we were allowed to pass with Olivia here.
Oh, knowing what I know from being a hunter, we would be totally dead if the Nosferatu did this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia
Yeah.
chimes in. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to navigate this without a Nosferatu. Regular kindred cannot enter the labyrinth without. So
I have an odd feeling that Lucian might be able to get back here. Just saying.
that's iffy.
But then that just means. But then what about this? What about this hunter Marius? Would he even be able to navigate the labyrinth? He's Nosferatu, but he's also not Camarilla.
So, Rin, would
Labyrinth
I
is
know?
not exclusive to the Camarilla.
That's why he sent his rats.
Would I know anything about this person since they also defected? Or like, could I find out anything about them?
You would be able to find out about them. Let me pull up my note because it closed. How long ago? Oh, yeah, no. You may be able to. You could do some digging later to find out about them, but Maxwell would have told you. I do recall mentioning that this person died 50 years ago. So you weren't alive then, but you could do some research on them and find out more information.
Yep.
So I'll work on that.
The notes I have, Marius killed. Marius is the Nosferatu,
Mm-hmm.
killed by a witch hunter who was embraced after being dismembered by the angry sire. Came back with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, then I think our work here is done if we are not going to explore the labyrinth. Unless you guys have any more investigating notes here.
I don't know what else I can do. I'm not really an investigator. I'm more of a talker. I mean, I was able to do this thing with my eyes, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Is there a way, if I can tell, can I... Hold on. I need to think about how I could figure this out without just asking, can I safely assume? Does the scratching, I know you had said deliberately,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely looks like the rat's intention was to scratch off this, right?
Yes.
And what is the window that is the most scratched off in direct view of the coffin?
None of them are in direct view of the coffin. What's kind of implied by what you can see with it being nighttime is that all of the windows had light proofing on them, and that all of the windows had similarly been tampered with to remove them. And that tampering is what exposed the haven to sunlight, and the coffin being open exposed the sleeping Nosferatu to the sunlight during the day.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, because that's what I was asking, I guess, if it was in direct line / view of the coffin.
Not in direct view, but just exposing them to the sunlight is enough to kill them.
Okay. Can we see any human footsteps? Not human, but like... Oh, wait, never mind, he doesn't have feet! Ah!
Nope, no human footsteps.
While we're here, too, I would like to autopsy the body.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's dust.
It's like cut the dust down the middle, you know?
You cut the dust.
Okay, would I know if there's... What do people do? What's done with, ashes of a dead kindred after they have died? Is that our job to, like, clean it up?
You don't really need to.
The janitor.
Yeah, like, you weren't asked to recover the ashes for any reason.
I'll take a little vial, though, just in case.
Just in case, sure. Yeah, you can.
But, yeah.
You scoop
I
up.
didn't
You
know,
scoop
like-
up some nos dust.
Yeah, I didn't know if, like, we had to, like, if technically that would be, like, us making sure the masquerade wasn't breached.
Oh,
Like, that was one of our jobs.
Nobody's finding this haven that shouldn't
Okay.
know where it is.
Well, we should probably cover these windows back up.
Yeah, you want to spend time covering them up?
Just with, like, something simple.
You could probably just pull the curtains because, it had
Yeah.
window coverings and curtains to kind of give it that penthouse look.
Speaking of the curtains, is the window on the inside or the outside of the curtains?
The window is, so it would be window, curtains, penthouse room.
Or
Okay,
inside.
so they had to get through the window in some way then, I guess?
Or inside.
Or they
or
must have been in here then. Okay, that
Mhm.
explains it. So they
Yeah.
definitely came from in here then. I answered
The
my earlier question.
The damage was done from the inside.
No logic!
Antonio,
Means that he's moving around
Yes.
during the daylight.
I guess this could be Antonio or Lucian. Do you guys know how to search for, like, hidden rooms or dungeons? So maybe he was being kept here?
We need to
possibly?
find an elf.
And he broke out? Haha.
I mean, there's one on the bookshelf.
New thought.
No.
New thought. There's can full-blooded kindred be like push themselves to be awake during the day?
Not
Or-
for long.
Okay.
Out of character, I think you have to make checks to be able to do it for a scene, and then it gets significantly harder because you don't just go to sleep, your body shuts down during the
Yeah.
daylight hours.
Yeah, you actually have to like spend willpower to like stay awake and stuff.
Yeah. There is a process, and it's complicated, and you can't do it for long. The Hekata can do it for longer because they can stay awake for like that extra hour, and they wake up an hour early or something. One of their abilities is kind of neat.
I just realized I'm able to stay awake during the day, but I'm not full-blooded either. You all struggle to stay awake during day hours, don't you?
It is not pleasant.
That means that this hunter was most likely here during the early morning or evening.
I mean, that is if we assume that he did not set this up earlier.
I don't
Or-
think he would have been. I don't think it couldn't have been set up earlier because otherwise the nose and the coffin wouldn't be ash. He wouldn't be in the coffin.
I mean, the thing is, couldn't you command the rats to go tear down the thing and then basically put them in a cage to be released at a certain point in time?
You
It depends
can,
on this
but
guy's.
I'm saying that the Nos's body is in the coffin. If he died during the night, then he wouldn't be in the coffin.
Well, so the coffin is open too. So,
Yes.
I mean, obviously the person would have closed the coffin, so somebody had to open the coffin up. Can somebody check the coffin for like little,
Fingerprints.
uh,
Rat
little scratch marks or something? Like the rats, like I don't think the rats can open the coffin.
Probably not rats. No,
Super
I will
strength
check
rats.
the coffin.
super strong rats.
Unless someone else
We're
would want
pumped.
to check the coffin. Does someone else
I mean,
want to, or am I the
Yeah,
investigator?
anybody who
Mine-
wants to take a look. And
Mine-
I'm not the investigator. I will
Okay.
I can
miss
look at
everything.
it,
I just
but
wanna-
I won't
yeah.
see anything.
I just wanted to make sure that everyone was cool if I was doing the role.
Yeah, it's fine. My
But-
investigation shit. I'll
You've been
assist
rolling
if I can.
criticals. Why would it not be cool for you to do it?
Okay.
See all those
Um,
dots in my investigation?
I mean, I have one dot in investigation.
I've got a whole 0.
Yeah, I got
Oh.
0.
It's one
Yeah,
more than
I'll,
everyone
That
else.
ain't my specialty.
Okay, yeah, I'll look at the coffin and see if I can figure out how this thing was opened. Also, does it have like a latch and a key or something, or like some way he can open it from the inside, or is it just a coffin where he just pushes it? Like
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll for me.
investigation, what wits?
Yeah, wits investigation.
Mm-hmm. See, wits is where I have it.
He's so smart.
Three.
3. So second question first. This is just a standard coffin. Despite everything in this penthouse looking really elegant, it's just a basic, comfortable-looking coffin. They didn't put any super paranoid security systems or time lock sensors or anything like that. It's just their bed. It's somewhere they could settle in because they probably felt that the security they had in the labyrinth and with the way the penthouse is set up, that they didn't need to worry about it. That being said, the lid isn't very heavy, and as you're looking around, you are seeing that there are claw marks and signs of the lid being forced open. They are not small rodent-like claw marks, but they are larger and animal-like.
I try and figure out what this animal is.
Yeah, you can take a peek.
Alright, would that be my academics again?
Uh-huh.
Intelligence or wits?
Intelligence, please.
And then zoology?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a willpower.
Okay. You can re-roll 3 of those.
I can roll 3? Oh, then I'll do one more.
Yeah, because you... Yeah.
Haha.
Okay, so that's 4 successes.
Yes.
The claw marks look like they are talon-like, of an avian variety. Some kind of large bird of prey, or several for that matter, were able to force this lid open. And the detail that would probably be important through your guys' guessing out loud of what could happen, if this happened during the day, forcing it open, the Nosferatu can't do anything about it because they're in torpor. So they don't have to be quiet, they don't have to be gentle. All they need to do is get it open.
Nosferatu are known for security systems. Is there any kind of like electronic security around here?
Yeah. What is your base wits and awareness? I don't need to roll because you could probably
Horrible.
just. Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Give me a wits and awareness roll then. Or you know what? You guys have been looking around for a while now. I don't need it. With Viper and doing all of these rolls before.
I would like Viper to do all my investigation rolls. I'm just gonna like take Viper's
what
arms
I mean is you guys have been here long enough, and Viper has been looking around. You guys would have been able to see and find this stuff. Yes, there are security systems and things in place. That being said, you know, the evidence is showing that these are animals that got in here. So, you know, anything like pressure plates or trip wires or things like that, small rodents and flying creatures could probably easily get around these things or not even.
Is there not like
think
a simple
about
camera though?
There is.
Or like motion sensor stuff?
Yeah, there would be a camera.
I have a quick thing I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing that they are birds, Viper would look at Callista and then say, well, either he is being transported on rats or by birds. If we are going off of that theory. He could
I
be
like the
flying
idea
torso.
that there are 50 rats just dragging this torso around.
What about like a
It could be
flying-
both.
They just have him on like a fucking platform with like rope that they're just carrying this torso
Yeah,
around on in
like
the air.
No,
Bodies
If
like
it,
the bodies of birds.
he just comes through the door and there's like this swarm of rats with his torso on it, and then like five or six
birds are
birds fly down,
if
grab his shoulders, and lift him
if it
upright.
wasn't the canon, it is now. It's just he is just laid atop a bed of rats, just being dragged everywhere. It's the new canon.
But yes,
Yeah.
we can continue now. Camera?
Mhm. Camera. There is a camera. There is
I would like
there is a
to
camera that
check
has a
the
good view.
camera.
Can we also get Olivia to check the camera? I know Ark's not here. But
Ark is
that would
not
be
here.
My first thing.
But you know what we can do? Since we're more or less at a stopping point that we usually use when we're down a couple people, this is a good place where we can stop. And hopefully Ark will be here next week for Olivia to be able to give us some insight. So why don't we wrap up here at the 2-hour mark, and then we can continue the investigation, hopefully with a Nosferatu available. If not, I will just pilot them, or I'll have one of you guys roll them. But this is a good place to stop, and we'll see what happens next week when Ark is hopefully here.
I do have a half decent tech roll as well, so.
Okay. And yeah, that'll. I think everybody, you guys did a good investigation, so you all can take 3 experience for today because there was a lot of good role playing and a lot of good ideas and checking, and you guys are on the right track. So there is
Books
that.
and a bust. So
Yeah. No, so like some positive storyteller reinforcement. You guys are not like horribly off track or anything like that. You are exactly where I hoped you would be in your investigation, and you are gathering the clues. Definitely so much better than the Anarch campaign.
So that means it is a guy on a bunch of rats.
It is now a guy on a bunch of rats. Like, was it beforehand?
being carried by giant birds.
Being carried by giant birds at the same time. No, it is just a half dozen
Look.
Hummingbirds holding.
Look, this is what
Yeah,
happens.
birds, like,
Like
fly backwards.
when the doors open, once we enter the same room with this guy and have our showdown, the doors open. Swarm of rats comes out with the body laying on top of it. All the birds fly down, clutch him on the shoulders, and then lift him upright.
Yep.
Then he gives his monologue.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and let's see here. Vancouver is playing Dungeons and Dragons. What the Betrayal? Is Atlanta by Night is not on anymore, so I can't send us over there.
Send them to Deligracy, playing The Sims 4.
They would not notice us or care. Let's see. There isn't anybody else really playing. Looks like there's a Spanish channel playing, and then somebody else is playing something called Call of the Abyss, but who else is on? Garble's still playing? Okay, we'll go over to Garblog Games. Our good friend Pat is over there playing. The wonderful Lollygaggers are over there, and the wonderful person who made Zweihander and Flames of Freedom is running that game. And I could have been in that game, but they decided to run it during Vampire the Masquerade, so I was like, hey, thanks, but no thanks. Which is kind of a shame, because the people they got on there are pretty cool. So we're going to go raid them. Everybody say hi, give them some love, and all that good stuff, and we'll be back for it next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.